Welcome back, everyone, to our 8th video in our basic video series entitled The Most Common Myths About Credit Reporting. I'm your course instructor, attorney Aaron Swift, the CEO and managing partner of Swift Law North. As always, we start with our agenda. First, we're going to talk about why are credit reporting myths so prevalent. Then we'll look into what are the most common credit reporting myths and end, as always, with consumer best practices. First, let's talk about why are credit reporting myths so prevalent? Well, first of all, any industry that deals with billions of dollars and big data attracts attention, sharks, experts, and scams. And I'm talking billions. Remember, I shared we were talking about the players in the industries in that video, the billions of dollars in revenue that the big three alone generate every year. So think of the total amount generated by 62 different credit reporting agencies. And credit reporting is a huge business. Like we've talked about, impacts just about every aspect of your financial life, from insurance rates, mortgages, whether you qualify for certain rates, certain programs at all. And this is a big deal. And there's so much money at stake that there are a lot of myths that get told because people are always looking for shortcuts and secret sauces and magic pills. But there a lot of times they just don't exist. It takes the hard work. Here, because you're working with us and getting the best educational content, you're going to know some secrets to use. But even then, those secrets are going to be grounded in, the the facts, the law, the common definitions, the things you're learning here during those videos. Um, remember, we've talked about these being used in every angle of your life. So you're going to find a lot of these hacks, a lot of these guarantees, people trying to manipulate you, manipulate markets, and it really leads to a lot of misunderstandings, misconceptions. Again, just because there's so much money at stake. So, what are the most common credit reporting myths? Well, first, that there's a secret sauce to higher credit scores. There's no secret sauce. Just go back to the previous video when we talked about the different components of a credit score and credit reports. You know that there's no secret sauce because there's not even just one score or one different type of report. The secret lies in the details, and the details lie in knowing what you know, and that's why you've come here to us. One of the other common myths is that higher savings and higher income equals higher credit scores. It's actually not the case. For some reasons that I think are sound and some unsound, income is not one of the factors calculated into a credit score. Even though if a credit score is supposed to be a score that models whether or not someone can or will pay a loan on time, you'd think that their income would be one of the factors, but it's not. Nor is a higher savings amount. If you have a lot of money sitting in a checking account, that's not going to impact a credit score, certainly not a regular big three credit score as it relates to a lending decision. One of the myths is that it's easy to dispute errors. It's not. It's a very complicated system. We get into that in great detail through our video series as you go from basic to advanced to pro. Um, it may seem easy, and these companies want to make it seem easy, but it's certainly not. Another common misconception is that if you dispute directly with the furnisher, that it triggers rights under the FCRA. That is not the case. Won't get into too much detail because we cover this later on. But for you to dispute under the FCRA and for it to trigger rights, the disputes have to go through the credit reporting agencies first. And lastly, this myth that credit reporting agencies are your friends. You see consumer commercials all the time appealing to boosting products and trust us. We can get you unsubscribed from things. The CRAs are not your friends. We are their products. We are their widgets. They sell our information and they make a lot of mistakes in doing so. Um, so that's definitely a myth to think that they're on your side. So, what are some consumer best practices? Can't stress this enough. Go back to the basics. Understand the industry players, the sections of a credit report, the terms. If you know those things, you're going to make better informed financial decisions. You're also going to make better decisions when it comes to debt collection and credit reporting. Do not believe everything or just about anything you read or watch on the internet as it relates to credit reporting, credit reports, credit scores. There is just so much information. Go to the source. One, go to lawyers like myself and our educational videos and content on Consumer Law 101. Then go to the statutes themselves, go to the agencies themselves. If in doubt, reach out. We want to guide you through educational programs here at Consumer Law 101, and we want to guide you through litigation at Swift Law North if it comes to that. Identifying errors, identifying harassment, stopping these things. We want to fix the problem, but we also want to obtain compensation and damages for you. Little to no risk, which we'll talk about again later. As always, if you want more information, of course, we're getting towards the end of our basic video series, but we have an advanced and pro curriculum, both available for consumer individuals and business professionals. You can find both on consumerlaw101.com. And if you have questions about litigation or think you may be ready to sue over errors or harassment, visit swiftlawnorth.com. Thank you.